What's up, guys? Back at it again with another video. I want to come on here and give some quick advice, especially concerning this thing I've been seeing lately with young men. Something that I fell into when I was like 18, 19 years old. And something that really grabs a lot of young men by the throat and kind of enslaves them. Sex seems to be everyone's ultimate goal, at least young men's ultimate goal, especially young guys that, maybe they weren't so fortunate to be like easily good looking and get all the girls, and everything they do is just leading up to finding a good looking girl to have sex with. And a lot of people make that like their ultimate goal in their life, to have sex with a lot of women, be a playboy. And they think this is what's gonna make them happy. They think this is like the end game of life, to have a lot of different sexual experiences. Only then will you have actually fulfilled yourself and enjoyed life to the fullest, right? But let me tell you something. Sex is not the end game of life. Now, this seems quite obvious to most of us, like, oh yeah, obviously, like, there's other things to life. But a lot of us, if you analyze everything a man does, take a random modern young man, just your average modern young man, almost everything he does is so that he can get laid. Everything. Think about it. Whether he's getting his money up, their looks maxing, or like, this stuff called looks maxing now. Basically just people that are trying to maximize their looks, trying to get something going for themselves, getting riz, like working out. Everything they do is just for this one specific goal, so they can bust with a girl. Now that's quite a sad reality, if you ask me. But I'm not gonna lie, I've been there. I used to think that's what I wanted. I just needed a beautiful woman to have sex with. Now it sounds kind of stupid and crazy, but I can guarantee you, like 99.9% of men, at least in this modern age, just think that way. Their only goal in life is to get laid. Now, as somebody that, I'm gonna open up a little bit, has sought that goal and achieved that goal, it's really not all that. And you will find yourself feeling empty because you realize that everything you've done is just simply to bust a nut. Now, I know I'm kind of talking vulgar right now. It's a little bit like just straight up. But this is the reality of a lot of young men, and I want to address this. I want to tell you guys that unless you find your purpose in God, you realize you're just going to be a slave to your desires. Now, as human beings, we have been made to worship. Now, what does that mean? What does it mean to worship? It's not really just singing songs and like making music to like a god or something. Worship is just giving all of your intense attention to something. You literally work towards this one thing. Every action you take in the day is for this one thing. That's worship. All your energy and your thoughts going to a certain thing, that is worship. And a lot of young men just worship sex, thinking that's what's going to fulfill them. It's really not. Now, don't get me wrong, it definitely feels good. Like, this is where people get it mixed up. They're like, but Nathan, like, it's actually fun. It actually feels pretty good. Like, yeah, it does for a little bit. Obviously, like, that's a no-brainer. Like even a monkey could know that, like seriously. Um, and we really just are acting like monkeys at this point when we think like that. But that's besides the point. What I'm trying to say is we need to find purpose in our lives. And until you find purpose, you're just going to be a slave to your desires. You're just going to be worshiping your desires. Now, we were made in the image of God to worship God. But if God is not the thing that you are worshiping, that all your time, energy, thoughts are going to, you are eventually going to start worshiping things like sex, money, clout, all that. So I just want to remind you guys, sex is not the end goal of life. It's a beautiful thing that God had made for us. It's to be enjoyed in marriage. But if you make that your everything, you're going to be left disappointed. Because it was never meant to fulfill a longing soul. Only God is. Jesus says, peace I give unto you, my peace I give to you. Not like the world gives do I give to you. He said, if you drink of this well, you're going to thirst again. You see, if we try to satisfy our hearts with sex, we make that the end goal of our life, our full fulfillment, we're going to thirst again. But Jesus said, if you drink of the water that I give, you will never thirst again. So I encourage you guys to seek God, seek purpose in Christ. We can't make our own purpose up. Purpose is something that's God-given. You can't create it, because if you create it, then it's not real. It's just a delusion of your own mind. It is a God-given thing. So seek God's purpose. Stop trying to do everything just so you can have sex with a girl. It's really not all that. The purpose and the peace that Christ gives is everything. It satisfies a longing soul. It's more than I could have ever imagined. So I encourage you guys to seek that. Stop seeking to get laid. It's really just not that great. It's like, yes, it's fun for a little bit, but to make that your everything, like, wow, it's actually sad. So if there's any young men out there that are struggling with this, look, I'm not here to shame you, because honestly, I've been there. I've made those mistakes. I'm just here to save you guys the pain of possibly ruining your life just because you wanted to have sex with a woman and you could possibly get her pregnant. So guys, exercise self-control, delay gratification, continue to wait. It's not worth it. Seek God's purpose. Stay humble. Stay real. See you guys in the next one.